Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 show. And again, what better way to spend your Friday night than with me, Tim Parmeter? Not so much me, but more Danielle Wright. Danielle.
Hi.
How are we doing?
Good.
Let's talk about some franchising stuff tonight. What do you say?
Is that what we're doing today?
I think so, because we're going to take a 360-degree look
At?
franchising.
Whoa.
I know. And so we did, oh my gosh, this is like episode 16 or something ridiculous. So weeks or months ago, they just kind of roll by. We talked about some myths and misconceptions.
Oh, that word.
The word that I cannot say, so I'm going with misconception.
Fun.
But one of them was industry experience.
Yes.
Technically, that's two words.
Right.
But there's
Good catch.
There's definitely a misconception, especially for folks who've been in the corporate world, that they think, oh my gosh, I've always been in this industry, therefore I need to own a franchise in that industry.
Which is hard for me. Like, what industry have I been in? Franchising. What business do I own? I don't know.
Right. But most, look, you talk to people all the time as we do at Fran Coach, and when you're in the job search in that corporate world.
Yeah.
It's been so long ago, I kind of almost forget what that's like being in the job search.
Sorry for anybody that's in that right now.
In the job search, but you can very easily get pigeonholed into like not worrying about your skill set and your title, but more of what that industry you've been in.
Yes.
Right. And so, but in franchising,
if I've crunched numbers my entire life, I'm going to continue to crunch numbers.
Or you've been the vice president of sales for, manufacturing this. Now I want to go into, I don't know, pharmaceutical sales or whatever other industry. It's really hard to do that in the corporate world because why? You don't have that industry experience.
Okay.
But in franchising, how big of a deal is that?
It's not a deal.
Why not?
Should not be a deal. It's not a deal. 'Cause hold on. Wait. What have we talked about a lot? Plan. There's a plan.
Yes.
Can you follow a plan? Do you follow a plan in your job?
Probably, yes.
Do you do what you're told in your job?
Typically.
Okay.
There you go. Right.
Done.
Right.
Are we done with the show now? Can we spend the next 20 minutes just goofing off?
Yeah, I think we can. But it's really with franchises and like our team, there's over 4,000 franchises. Our team at Fran Coach, we work with over 600. I can count on one hand the amount of franchises that even remotely hint at maybe wanting somebody with industry experience.
Okay.
Because the owner is not the doer, right?
Well, yes and no. I have a challenge to that.
Okay, go for it.
Do you want the challenge?
Sure.
So I, too, had a client that was doing a job for the majority of his career, but he's buying a franchise that is the same thing he did, but he just wants to do it for himself versus somebody else.
Right. But is he the actual doer? Like if
he wants to be the doer.
It happens, right?
Like he wants to be the doer.
And that's there's the
I think that's the problem. He elevated so far up that he has stopped being the doer, but he missed doing the stuff, and now he wants to do it.
Right.
So
and so
it happens.
And the beauty,
I don't think that's the point you're trying to get at.
No, the beauty of the franchising is that you make it whatever you want, but typically if you own you own Great Clips, you're not in there cutting hair all day long, right?
No. But there are people that bought like a med spa franchise and they're an esthetician and they like doing the injectables and dealing with the clients. So yeah, they can. I don't want anyone to think that they can't. I don't think that's the purpose of what you're trying to get to right now. It's just more of it's an anomaly if it does. Right.
And the exception, that's more the exception versus even when we have people that are looking at franchising in general and they're like, well, this is what I've always done, so I think I should do that because it's what I know. And we may look at a franchise like that, but rarely is that the thing. It's more of, well, one, like that's what I've been doing. Let me get out of that in a challenge of something different. But it's really kind of figuring out that what do they want to do all day long?
Right. So how does industry play into those conversations? Because I think we're talking industries, right? Like you said, 600 franchises, which is just a small amount considering how many more are there.
Correct.
Like how often do you show something that's different, like an industry, or how often maybe do you show ones that tie to it?
Yeah. So it's almost always some that are different. And I think for our process at Fran Coach, when we have somebody, we'll be able to go through a couple of steps and then narrow it down to maybe 3 or 4 that we think could be the right fit. And maybe there's one that is in alignment with what they've done in the past, but believe it or not, it's rarely the thing that ends up being the best fit for them.
What kind of questions do you ask? Because I think they're like, okay, so there are a boatload of industries. I think we chat GPT'd earlier, like how many different industries franchises play into, and it's like 300.
Right.
So what questions do you ask about industry for people? Like, how do you get them thinking outside of their bucket?
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things is having people looking at franchises really have an open mind to what this is all about and how we find the best thing, because it's kind of reverse engineered. It's like, we know how to find a job. This is what I've done.
Right.
I'm going to find the next job at another company, or maybe
a different title.
Right. I've been director. Money. I think I'm ready for VP. This is a totally different process where it kind of gets reverse engineered into this. And so let's talk a little bit more, because that is a great question. What questions do we think about?
Look at me. I had a good question.
Good job. So we're going to answer that question and a lot more about industry and how it matters finding the best franchise for you here on the Franchising 360 show. All right, we are back on the Franchising 360 show, and we are diving deeper into a big misconception in franchising, that you have to have industry experience or experience in the industry that you end up owning a franchise in. And while that does happen, it's pretty rare. Yeah. And Danielle, you asked an amazing question right before we went to break.
I did.
Do you happen to remember what it was?
You know, that was such a long time ago. Like, my adult ADHD is tricking in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about how do you work with clients and get them to understand the industries, maybe something in and around there.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of it is that just that open mind, number one, that maybe what you've always done industry-wise isn't what the franchise is going to be.
Okay.
Right? And as you said earlier, it doesn't mean it can't or won't.
But what about more educating them to the different types of industries? Because if there are 300 different types.
Right.
And you're working with 600 brands. Like, I'm not a math whiz on this show. That's all you. But what other industries can I think about and how do you find which ones and how do you explain them? And so many, you started one question and now it's five.
Well, let's come back to the questions that we take our people through and talk about some of the industries, because
I'm here along for the ride. Let's go.
Like, what I think people tend to gravitate towards is more of the brick and mortar things, right? Which clearly we've got
turn a key and open a door,
right? Where the customers are coming to you to hand you money for whatever you are selling. Okay.
So you're starting at a high level.
So we've got food, right? Which can be good old fashioned fast food stuff.
Food has so many different categories.
Like what else?
Well, fast casual, full service, QSR, which again, acronyms, quick service restaurant. You've got dessert. You have got specialty. I mean, I'm running out of
ice cream and some cookies,
running out of
some
stuff,
cake,
but that's
and
dessert.
I'm hungry all of a sudden.
Desserts.
So, but they're really there's a whole slew of things, or we've got healthier things.
We've got unhealthier things too.
Food trucks, right?
Wow. Okay, sorry.
I know, right? So then there's the kind of non-food brick and mortar, which, as we were talking through this earlier.
Yeah, I got mad at you.
Right. Well, you came up
saying retail.
But you came up with a brick and mortar option that, like, sometimes we all forget, even I had forgotten about, which was
hotels.
Yes.
It's brick and mortar.
Yes. Those
very expensive.
Those are
franchises.
They are franchises. And then there's kind of all the other things. Like we see this every time we go to a strip mall, right? Franchise, not a franchise.
Strip mall.
Right. So the like where we get our hair cut. Not so much me, but other people.
Yeah, not me either.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but it's in a strip mall. It's just not a franchise.
Right.
Okay.
There are things like that where you get your haircuts, all of the...
Like the salon suites.
Right.
Oh, like we had Stephanie Ruby.
And she had a whole thing in there from a real estate standpoint.
Yes.
And we have like the health and wellness and beauty and fitness. And even in there's all sorts of little subcategories.
Education, and you can have like Kumon, right? Like that's brick and mortar.
Right, where I need to ship something.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Right.
Ooh, can we do that? That's fun. Game show.
We've got that, right? Franchise or not franchise? Like post it up there, right?
I know, I love it. Send it to the Franchising 360 show.
And then we've got our wonderful four-legged creatures. We have pet franchises all over the place.
Some pets are not four-legged though.
Groom them and board them.
Okay.
Tend to be probably more. I don't know if we're.
Because I was gonna say there's some birds. You've got Wild Birds Unlimited.
Also a great franchise. Probably not
2 legs.
Probably not grooming those.
Not 4.
Maybe.
Yeah, you are.
Can we groom a bird?
Yeah, you gotta cut their feathers.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, see, and this is why you don't own one of those franchises. But you could, because I could teach you.
We could, and then there's those automotive ones, right? There's all sorts of things from that standpoint. And then what about the like the kind of the hidden piece of franchising.
Well, you said one that really blew my mind today that I forget, like urgent care.
Right.
That's a franchise. That's a brick and mortar. Who knew?
Right. In fact, we passed one on the way over here.
Passed quite a few.
Chiropractor, all the
Oh yeah, that too.
right
Okay.
eye doctors.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I know. If there is a business out there, it may not be a franchise, but there are franchises of it somewhere, shape, or form. Then let's get out of the brick and mortar things. I think there's probably even a wider range of things that don't require that physical space for the customers to go to.
Like work from home, or can have their home office be their office.
Right. Or maybe there
or like a satellite office.
Right, is an office,
executive office
business
suite
park
or something. Right.
But the customers aren't coming to you.
Correct.
It's kind of a place of work because we're now
going to the customer.
Going to the customer and
Okay.
all sorts of things from that standpoint.
So how do you describe, like, so there's one, I kind of listen to what you do because, kind of live together and I have to hear that. So what is it when you're describing these to people? Like, let's strip away the name of the brand and maybe what it does specifically, but from a high level, you talk about home service
Right.
in a certain way that's really cool, and I'm pretty sure you stole it from somebody, but all the best ideas are stolen from the best people.
I totally stole it from somebody. There's a decent chance they're not watching, so I'm going to say that I created the category. Within home service, there are, oh my God, like
a lot,
40, 50 niches underneath there.
Oh, you said the word.
And we can put them into 3 categories.
Yes.
So there's enhance, maintain, and repair.
Okay. So if I'm a client and you're saying that to me, what are you trying to get me to say?
That is a great question that we're going to talk about right after this commercial cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. Enhance, maintain, repair. More on industries, why it matters and why it doesn't, here on the Franchising 360 Show. Welcome back to the Franchising 360 Show. Danielle Wright with me, Tim Parmeter. Talking about industries.
I'm Danielle Wright.
And so Danielle Wright.
Okay.
What we were just talking about was the 3 kind of subcategories underneath
home service.
And we love home service.
I do. We don't own it.
Not yet, but we're on a franchise owning moratorium for
we are for a while. Yeah.
So, but we're almost at 2025. So yay. Enhance, maintain, repair.
Okay.
It's kind of how we break this down, which is probably obvious. Enhance, we are going into the home or the office or the business and we're making something better.
Like my closet.
Could be your closet, bathroom remodel. Could be as simple as
kitchen cabinets.
Put a fresh coat of paint.
Oh, right? Okay. Yeah.
Maintain is usually the simple, staple, recurring things. Cleaning the house.
Okay.
Mowing the lawn.
Okay.
Cleaning the pool.
Gutters.
Things like that.
Okay.
Things you're going to do almost like on repeat.
Oh,
right?
that.
Recurring things.
Got
right?
it. Okay.
Repair, well, guess what? Something is broken. We need to come fix it.
Okay.
Could be urgent, like, I've got water leaking all over the place.
Yes.
It could be as simple as, maybe my washing machine isn't working. Not necessarily urgent and immediate emergency things, but we still need it fixed.
My garage door won't open.
Right. So all of those things. So your question earlier, then, like, what do we ask, right, to kind of figure that out?
Yeah.
Right. So it's when we do this with folks, we literally will kind of explain it and then go, okay, rank them. So if I said that to you as a potential franchise owner, because our moratorium on owning ends here in a few weeks, enhance, maintain, repair, Danielle, for you personally, rank those for me.
Oh, see, I'm the wrong person to ask that. I'm going to ask can't ask follow-up questions.
No, you may not.
I just have to rank them.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. And see, and this is where I know too much. I can't rank them. But
just
I like enhance.
Okay.
I like maintain. I like repair. They all rank number 1.
They all rank number 1.
Yes.
Okay. So but then what we would do is, and again, you have to be difficult on live TV, but people usually have some sort of preference, and I know
do you explain that to them? Like, what are the pluses and minuses of both, or all of them?
So yes, but it's top of mind to begin with, because people do kind of have that, and then you get into, well, if you said enhance,
I like the pretty stuff.
Right, the enhance, right? The pretty, it's the before and after, it's the tangible. Sometimes people like repair. That feels a little bit more, the dreaded words, recession resistant.
Right.
Stuff's going to break. It has to get fixed.
And I hear it's like a one-time thing. Like if I fix it, it's done.
Right.
Like I'm not coming back and making any more money off of you because I just fixed your problem.
Right. And then the maintain is you're coming back all the time. Right.
Yeah.
So
reoccurring. It's that dreaded word.
When people can when you kind of answer and then you figure out what at the core, oh, I like that long-term relationship with somebody.
Okay.
It might be more reoccurring, right? But can you have a enhance or a repair franchise and still have long-term relationships?
I don't know. Can you?
Great question. So glad you asked that.
I love it when you tee me up.
And
so great.
But yeah, so if you have a painting franchise, okay, and you connect with realtors, because realtors are the best referral sources on the planet. They got somebody for everything. They're selling a house.
They got a guy,
right? You're that guy, right? We're about to, hey, I want to sell my house. And the realtor walks in there and like, what decade did you last paint this?
Which we've seen some of those.
Right? You need to call my guy Tim and his painting franchise. They're going to come over. Or you buy the house. I love the house. Woo, what were they thinking with this color? Right? I'm sure that baby blue was great back in the 70s. Not so much now. Flashback to a house I bought years ago.
I was going to say, like, whoa.
But what happened? The realtor was like, yeah, here's the painter. You need to call them. Right? So you build those relationships based on being reliable and quality. So you still can do it, but but you're right. You were trying to ask the sub question already. It's that initial reaction to kind of rank, and then we figure out the why.
Okay. So what if I come to you and say, hey, me and my family go to this local ice cream shop for all our special occasions, all of these things. I really love it. How do you show them that? Because if you're saying we don't, let's show them other things. How do you work through those pieces?
I think there's two things. One is, well, what is it about that you like?
The ice cream, of course.
Okay. So
family time, not so much.
Which again, usually the experience, right? We're making customers happy.
Making memories.
So if it's the place that you go where you live, it's already owned where you live, right? So it may not be available there.
Yeah.
Are you willing to surround yourself? Or does that, again, the why is going to lead to, oh, you like it because of this, and this. Great, let's look at what you're thinking about, but maybe that leads us into 2 or 3 other things that you wouldn't have thought about.
Okay, so I like the experience that I'm getting. I like the product, but maybe I need to have it somewhere else.
Possibly, right? Or again, that also for you goes back to the enhance. You like the pretty, you like the happy, right? There's the before and after. I came in, I'm hungry, and my sweet tooth is going, give me some of that ice cream.
Right.
Versus, man, I can't stand this like horribly dated kitchen. It's not functional. It looks like crap.
Okay.
And now all of a sudden, here comes Danielle and her team in there to make it all better. But again, you're not the one in there swinging the hammer, doing all the work in the kitchen.
Scooping the ice cream. Yeah, no.
Which goes back to that experience thing.
Okay, so let's take this one step further, can we?
Yes.
Okay, so you're talking industry and background.
Yes.
So my background is executive leadership, sales. What industries do fit that background?
That is a great question. And we're going to tackle this and figure out what franchise Danielle is about to own when we come back here on the Franchising 360 Show. Welcome back to the Franchising 360 Show. Tonight we are talking about industry, how it matters, does it matter, and how do we figure this out? And Danielle, you gave us another great cliffhanger teaser as we went to commercial. Everybody was sitting on the edge of their couch the last couple minutes.
What industry should Danielle look at?
So what industry should Danielle, was that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what industry do you think you should look at?
That's not fair.
I know, that's the beauty of this though. But it really, it sort of is and sort of isn't, but it does matter
what
because—
am I going to pay you for, Mr. Consultant, to help me find a franchise if I got to say which industry I want? You're the one telling me I got to look for an industry.
Well, fortunately at Fran Coach, there's no service to our fee to our clients.
Did you get that?
Yeah. But we do talk, and people do have some things in mind. I like this, I don't like that.
Okay.
And then there's usually things based on background that we can kind of pull out.
I love everything.
Right. Which is problematic, but we've already drilled down to, you like the quality, you like the customer experience, them happy, right? Maybe it's something pretty, it's a fun little ice cream place, it's this amazing bathroom remodel. We've got these things. But the beauty of the industry is, yes, it does matter. And the longer people have been in the corporate world, and you know this, the more they just get beat into their head, industry is everything for what's next.
Right. If you've built cars, you're only capable of building cars. Is that what we're telling you?
If you've sold cars, it's the only thing you could possibly sell because there's no way in the world.
Franchises. Maybe that's the only thing I can do.
Possibly, right? But the industry does matter. But what really matters most, and with our team, we call it the get out of bed test.
Okay.
You're the one that's got to get your butt out of bed every day and go run this.
Tell me about it.
What are you doing? What do you like? What are you good at? People you're around, those type of things, and even what kind of staff you have, all can kind of lead to what the best industry is. You mentioned ice cream. What kind of staff do you have at an ice cream place?
A couple of high school kids.
Okay. So some people may go, oh, that's fun. I can manage them and kind of almost maybe I can be a mentor to them. The next person's going to go, oh, heck no, I don't want to manage high school kids.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's fine.
You have one, you're a little bit more.
Yeah, and he's in restaurant and loves it.
Right. So we would all want to hire him, but there's probably some of his buddies at school.
Oh, I know there's some buddies at his work that they don't. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
So understanding that kind of whole picture helps us understand what industry. But again,
like I love dogs, but should I own a dog franchise?
Correct. Maybe. But
I love petting them and playing with them.
Do you love their owners?
Maybe, because, dogs match their owners.
That is very, very true. And I wish we could insert a picture of Henry right here next to you for that. But no, I always want people to realize what industry you've been a part of or those passion things. Do they matter? Absolutely, they do.
Well, it's for your get out of bed test stuff, though.
Right.
Like I'm excited about doing that. I'm not so excited about going and painting walls.
And if you are, but again, you're not the one painting the walls.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not excited about any of that.
So you gotta, it's not pretty enough.
No.
Right? For it, not fun enough. You need that fun and that experience.
Golly, we're telling our viewers I'm definitely superficial. Sorry.
love me, please. Aww. Right. But that's okay. That's what's going to get you excited to get out of bed every day.
I like fitness.
Right.
I don't work out, but I like some fitness.
And somebody that might work out all the time thinks that they need that, but then their release and the fun of working out all the time might not be the same when you own it.
What is it? Don't always turn your hobby into the thing you have to do.
Right.
Your hobby's meant to be the thing you want to do.
The important thing is really like, and a kind of a broken record on this, but you have to have an open mind when you're looking at franchises, because what you think it's going to be is rarely.
It's really about your skill set and what you want to be doing.
Right.
Do I want to talk to people every day? Do I want to build relationships every day? I don't know. Do I want to go to BNI meetings and network every day? I don't know. But I can pay somebody to do it.
Right. I'm trying to think of some of the brands you've worked. You worked at a junk and moving company.
I did.
How many franchise owners came in there with this massive experience in junk and moving?
2.
I mean, the experience, we've all been the customer, but
Two.
Yes, it happens, but it's
very rarely out of 100 people, it was 2.
Yes.
No.
So the moral of the story is have an open mind.
Yeah.
And really figure on, if you're going to invest your time and money in owning a franchise, let's make this sucker as ideal as possible for what you want.
Okay.
So
I'm in. But we're on a moratorium. I can't buy a franchise.
So we'll come back in a couple of weeks and we'll talk about that.
Maybe.
But now it's time to send everybody on their merry holiday way.
Yes.
For the next few days.
Got any big plans?
No, not really.
No.
Not for actual Christmas. After Christmas, I've got a big surprise for my wife.
Oh, that's super fun. Maybe you'll tell me about it later.
No, it's a surprise. So, but thank all of you for tuning in, dealing with us. Hopefully you're able to learn a little bit about franchising. The franchising360show.com. If you want to send in any questions, any comments, or want to just learn more about this for yourself, we are here to help you. But in the meantime, for everybody celebrating, Merry Christmas. And
Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa.
We'll see him before New Year, though.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see you next week on the Franchising 360 Show.
Bye.